Libra, Sun, Moon and Rising, here is your tarot reading for Aries season. If, as usual, you'd expected me to say for the week ahead, then you need to go and check out the channel update in the video library to find out why. But as ever, take what's helpful, leave what isn't, and always get the messages to fit into your life rather than the other way around. And be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment below, an emoji or a question or whatever it might be. Love to hear from you. So we start off, well, I'm going to give an overriding theme for you first. I don't normally kind of start that way, but remember this saying throughout this Aries season, there are two sides to every coin. I say that because we have, slap bang in the middle of your reading, a glorious, glorious energy of the sun. So really nice to see the sun, very, very expansive, joyous. It's feeling enlightened. It's feeling free. It's feeling very upbeat. Optimism connects very much with the solar plexus, so this idea of confidence, this self-esteem, this self-empowerment, this energy moving forward. We are moving to sunnier days as well, so that feeling like a relief. Definitely this sense of things opening up. Something that I've been saying to almost all of the star signs is that Aries season represents the first season of the zodiacal year. So in many ways, it is our astrological new year. Much more appropriate in many ways than January for a lot of, particularly those in the West, that mark the beginning of the year, because we're still in that hibernation period. So the fact that we're moving into spring and we have this expansiveness feels really, really great. And you, Libra, are definitely going to feel this. The fact that there are two sides to this coin is unsurprising, as the sign of Libra is obviously the scales. So things needing to be brought into balance and understanding, well, if we've got something in one pan, then we need something on the other side to balance it out. The reason that I say this is because we have in your reading as well, and I started with the positive and there's more positive to come, so we're absolutely fine, but we have the Five of Swords and the Five of Cups, the Lord of Conflict and the Lord of Loss of Pleasure. 5 to me is the number of chaos. It's the number of change. It is the number of conflict in many ways, because it is leaving the stability of the 4, wanting to reach the harmony of the 6. And as soon as we add the 5th point to a square, it suddenly disrupts that symmetry, that stability that we've created. It bookends, so we start off with the 5 of Swords and we end with the 5 of Cups, so it's a kind of bookending to Aries season. And this is why I was saying that there's two sides of the coin. So the top side might be the sunny side, and then the seemingly the darker underbelly. And it's just saying that you'll experience both as we go through, and it may very well flip or flit between the two. Doesn't necessarily mean that there are extreme highs and extreme lows by any means, nor does it necessarily mean that it undulates. But your challenge here this month, this season, Libra, is very much to look for the positive where there may be the negative. Look at, okay, these are the challenges that are appearing in my life. This is what I'm feeling a bit disappointed by. These are the arguments that I'm having. These are the conflicts that I'm experiencing. But what is it pointing towards? What lesson is the universe trying to teach me here? What is the silver lining to an otherwise dark cloud? The 5 of Cups has been showing up a lot. It's shown up more than any card thus far. And the 5 of Cups is always a reminder, and I think that this is so pertinent for now, for the times that we're going through, and such a helpful reminder that we focus on the positive. This is what's really, really important, that we don't just look at our upsets, our disappointments, what hasn't worked. We have to remain focused on what is working, and don't ever underestimate that those things that aren't working. Yes, we may have put time, energy and effort into it and feel very connected to it, but we've got to trust that actually the universe is clearing the way for something bigger, better and brighter, or that situation, that experience, that person has come to its natural conclusion. So we have to approach it with a spiritual maturity of, okay, there's obviously, it is time to move on, or there is a time to look for the lesson and the positivity that can be found in that situation. That is very, very easily accessible as expressed with the sun. It's just, yeah, it's quite fascinating, this kind of contrast, really. And again, with the scales and almost the yin and yang aspects, it's unsurprising, Libra, that you'll experience those contrasts. But it is entirely up to you to look at those seemingly challenging times as invaluable. So we've got the quote unquote negative aspects out of the way. Then we'll focus back onto the positive, because these are the cards that you have in the middle. You've got the Nine of Cups, the Lord of Satisfaction. You've got the Four of Swords, the Lord from Rest from Strife, or the Lord of Peace, that I would say. So that is a great antidote from the Five of Swords. With the Five of Swords, don't be surprised if you are having crossed words with people, that there are minor infractions, there are minor disagreements, rubbing against, frustrations, clashing of heads. It's not necessarily a bad thing by any means. Be mindful. This is something that I said to Gemini as well. Sometimes Aries energy, we've got our horns down, we want to charge into things, and it can create this slightly combative sense. I believe Aries is ruled by Mars. It must be, right? But this kind of very fiery, charging ahead kind of energy. So just be slightly mindful of your words, be mindful of your interactions. Don't necessarily try and take the upper hand if it is just for the sake of it. That's often what the Five of Swords depicts. Yes, okay, he's won the battle, but at what cost? Has he excluded people? Has he made enemies of people unnecessarily? So something I said to Gemini that I'll say here, go and check out their video, because there's definitely overlaps between you and that air sign. We may be eating a slice of humble pie, but that's absolutely fine. It's much better to apologize, to rectify things, to acknowledge things and say, sorry, that was my part in it, than allow things to simmer and fester, because the Four of Swords is representing that return to peace, that return to balance is completely accessible for you. Particularly as Libra, you will feel the sting of disharmony with others more than most. So what do you need to do to try and bring that back into a point of balance? And then we have the Nine of Cups in combination with the sun. This is such a glorious energy. Lots to be proud of, lots to be excited for, lots to just relish in, really. It's just a feeling of being full, being emotionally full, of the heart being full. There may be things, times for celebration. There may be just things that make your heart fit to burst. It's really nice to see. And that combination is also calling for you to keep perspective on things. Something that I said to Leo, I believe to Sagittarius too, is that this is going to be really key as we move through Aries season. What is important? What is essential to us? What are we focusing on? What are we what matters? What actually matters? Am I getting caught up in the nitty gritty everyday BS that doesn't that has no real relevance? We think it has relevance because we're right in the throes of it, and we make it much larger than it needs to be, and we make it kind of this grandiose thing. But when we move into this point of rest and this place of quiet and this point of reflection, we realize, oh, I've just got carried away here. I've just allowed that to snowball into something that is a mountain being made out of a molehill, either for us, for other people, but ultimately what matters. And being able to keep that degree of impersonality with your life and just go, I don't need to take this personally. It's got nothing to do with me. It's fine. Just rising above that, but rising above that in a way that isn't about, I'm rising above this and making a very kind of very laboured point about it. Oh, I'm higher than that. No, this isn't what that's about. It's about recognizing, looking at what's really important and leaning into that. Does that help? Does that resonate? Let me know in the comments below. And I shall see you. I'll be releasing the next Tarotscopes for Taurus season, but in the meantime, there will be other videos coming out. So be sure to hit subscribe, the notification buttons. You can also check the pinned comment below to see how to discover your sun, moon and rising signs for a full 360 look at your month ahead. You can also sign up to the email notification so you never miss your Tarotscopes again in the future. But until next time, have a great Aries season, Libra, and I shall see you next time. Bye for now.